Kia ora Aotearoa, I'm Met Service meteorologist Angus Hines here with the latest on Cyclone Gabrielle and the extensive range of severe weather warnings that are currently active across the country. Over the last 12 hours, rain has set in for many in northern areas. It was wet through much of the weekend across Northland, but now it's Auckland, Coromandel, Waikato, Bay of Plenty, all seeing heavy and persistent rain so far on Monday morning, and that is set to continue. So far, what have we seen? Well, really strong wind across the top of the country. We've had wind gusts through Auckland and other urban centres in excess of 130 kilometres an hour, and through some more exposed parts of Northland, Te Tai Tukaro, wind has been reported above 150 kilometres an hour. That has caused widespread damage to trees and power lines, and at the moment tens of thousands of homes are without power in those northern regions of New Zealand. Rain has really set in for Northland over the weekend, and we've seen 200 millimetres accumulate over the course of about the last 36 hours for some parts of that region. But in most other areas, the rain is going to intensify later today, so the worst of the wet weather is still to come for most regions. Let's take a look at the warnings. We're going to start off with a look at the wind warnings, and we've got some impressive imagery to show just how strong this wind is blowing around the cyclone. Remember, it moves in a clockwise manner in the southern hemisphere. That means we get the wind shifting all kinds of directions across the North Island, but it is all encompassing, and we have got many warnings active. We'll start with a look at the red wind warnings, and just a reminder that red warnings are the highest classification of severe weather warning we are able to issue here in New Zealand, and there is a red warning for continual damaging wind through the Northland region. Te Tai Tukaro has got this warning in place until 9 p.m. on Tuesday. The direction is going to shift around a bit as the low moves. Currently the wind is southeasterly, but by later today we expect that to shift to southwesterly, and we will see gusts continue to blow 130, 140 kilometres an hour across the region, potentially causing further damage. A red warning is in place for the Auckland area, including Great Barrier and the islands of the Hauraki Gulf, throughout the day today and throughout the day tomorrow. The wind might not be as persistent here. It could lull for a little while this afternoon as we do see the shift in directions. That does not mean that the wind is done. It is picking up again. It is getting very strong again this evening. Wind gusts of 120 to 130, maybe higher, expected through Auckland for much of the day today, and then again much of the day tomorrow. So please do tie down any unsecured structures across your property. We have maintained the red warning for strong wind across the Coromandel Peninsula region, 120 to 130 kilometres an hour. Looking at a southeast direction today, a southwest direction tomorrow, but it will still be very strong. And just in the last hour or so, the Taranaki area has also had a red warning issued for incoming wind gusts, particularly tomorrow, Tuesday. It is going to get really strong. The wind gusts could potentially be quite damaging through Taranaki, looking 130 to 140 kilometre an hour gusts throughout the region tomorrow. And I'm not joking when I say the entire rest of the North Island has got an orange warning active for it, as does the top of the South Island here. So throughout the entire North Island and top of the South Island, wind is expected to get very strong today, and for most places that will last until tomorrow as well, potentially damaging gusts through all of these areas. Just the one wind watch in place for the Western South Island. A reminder of some of the things just to be aware of when those winds are really blowing. Damage to trees, power lines and unsecured structures. That includes things like trampolines, but also outdoor patio furniture, and loose roof tiles can be under threat there for all of those windy areas. Driving can become really difficult, particularly in high vehicles like trucks and buses, and of course motorcycles as well can really feel the effects of the strong wind if they're out on the road. So as per usual in these weather events, do try and minimise your travel, and we do expect to see further power outages across the North Island and Upper South Island in the next couple of days. That's a look at wind. How about we check out the rainfall now? This is an accumulated rainfall map over the next couple, and with the heavier rain still on the way, Monday evening, Monday night, Tuesday morning, a lot of this is still to fall across the North Island. The numbers are looking really big as well. If we zoom into the North Island and we look at all the purple, look at all the red for these eastern places, these northern places, that's this end of the scale here, 200 millimetres, and in some places significantly more than 200 millimetres over the next couple of days. A number of red rain warnings are active as well, starting once again at the top of the country. A red warning for heavy rain is in place across Northland. That one goes through the day today before that warning expires at midnight tonight. Between now and then, so over about the next 12 to 13 hours, expecting another 100 to 160 millimetres of rain, particularly south of Kaikohe. And then it looks like we might get some further rain overnight tonight, even after the warning has finished. A red warning is in place for Auckland as well for further heavy rain there. That covers the Auckland region, it covers the Great Barrier, and it covers all the islands in the Hauraki Gulf as well. Could see up to 200 millimetres on top of the around about 50 that you've had over the past 12 to 24 hours. So the rain is only really getting going there. It's this afternoon and this evening, Monday afternoon, Monday evening, even Monday night, when the most intense persistent rain is expected across Auckland. That warning runs through until 3 a.m. Tuesday morning. The final red warning that we do have active for these northern parts is Coromandel Peninsula. You've got a whole lot more rain there. It's about the third or the fourth time this year that the Coromandel is getting a big dump of rain, so this is going to cause widespread impacts. There's already a lot of stress on the roading network across the Coromandel, and this will just add to that. So once again, I do urge you to minimise your movements across the region. Could see up to 300 millimetres in parts of the peninsula. We'll now shift to the eastern North Island, and we have got a red warning in place for the northern half of the Tairāwhiti Gisborne region. That warning covers the area from Tolaga Bay northwards, right up there to East Cape. That warning is in place until 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and between now and then we're looking at maybe 350 millimetres of rain on top of what you've got in the last 12 hours. Again, there are extensive warnings covering other parts of the North Island. We've got orange warnings in place around Bay of Plenty and the Waikato areas, Mount Taranaki, and the entire eastern seaboard from that Tolaga Bay area right through the rest of Gisborne, Hawke's Bay and Wairarapa, as well as the little northeastern corner of the South Island for parts of Marlborough and Kaikoura. Heavy rain can cause all sorts of issues, but in particular, these are some things to watch out for in the next 2 or 3 days. Streams and rivers become very dangerous as they rise incredibly quickly due to the intense rainfall in the mountains. Surface flooding and slips are likely to be commonplace over the next few days around the North Island, so roads are going to be difficult to navigate, and there could of course be power outages as well. And yeah, that's the main one. Roads really difficult to navigate, treacherous driving conditions, poor visibility, poor grip on the roads, and do minimise your travel. We're just about done. I just wanted to add one more thing for those northern areas. We've got the wind, we've got the rain. This system, Cyclone Gabrielle, is also having a big impact on our oceans with some massive waves along the eastern side of the country. In particular, Monday is going to see waves of up to 8 or 9 metres for these eastern coastlines. It'll be easing a little bit for Tuesday, but those waves could still be 5, 6, 7 metres and cause a lot of damage. Could well wash up onto coastal property and coastal roads, especially during high tide, which is early this afternoon around about 1 p.m. and then again overnight around about 1 a.m. So really do take care and steer clear of the beaches and coastlines. So I've covered plenty in this video, and of course you may want to just double check the details, so you can find the official warnings at metservice.com. That is all I have for now. Stay safe, look after each other. Kia pai te rā.